Now we will see the detailed examples for open loop and closed loop with their block diagrams. So this is the first example I have shown here, which is a temperature control system. So this temperature control system can be implemented in open loop as well as in closed loop. So the first diagram, this one, is the open loop temperature control system, and this block diagram is closed loop temperature control system. Let's see what is the difference between this and this. See, all these 5 elements which exist in the open loop are also same in the closed loop also. So all these 5 elements are same. Extra 2 elements are added. One is amplifier and the second one is D2A converter. So these two commonly form a feedback. So that is the major difference between open loop and closed loop, right? Feedback. So these two blocks will form a feedback. Now let's see its operation, the open loop. Then we will see in the closed loop, right? So this example is based on electrical furnace. Electrical furnace will be there. We have in many of the industrials, electric furnace will be available. So we need to measure the temperature of this electric furnace. Okay. So for heating or for getting the temperature, we will have a heating element here. You can see this is the heating element. So because of this heating element, we will get the heat in the electric furnace, right? So this heating element can be energized by means of an AC supply, which is taken here. And this AC supply is given to the relay control unit. In this relay control unit, we will fix the time. Suppose I want to heat this element for 10 seconds. So in this relay control unit, we will keep 10 seconds. So that the AC supply is given to this heating element only for 10 seconds. So it will heat up to the 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, the AC supply will be disconnected automatically by this relay. Relay is nothing but a switch which will works on time. So if you give 10 seconds means it will work for 10 seconds only. After 10 seconds, this relay opens. So there is no input is given to this heating element. So it won't operate. Okay. So for this 10 seconds, we need to measure the temperature that is produced by this heating. So how we will measure the temperature? So generally we will use a sensor here. This sensor sense the temperature produced by this heating element in the analog form. We already know we will have two forms. One is digital form, second one is analog form. So this temperature sensor is an analog sensor. It will sense the temperature in analog form. So, but we will have a display, which is a digital format, right? Because now we are living in a digital world. So we need to convert that analog into digital. So for that, we need a analog to digital converter. A to D means analog to digital converter is used to convert this analog signal into a digital signal. And interface is nothing but the element which relates this value, which can be shown in the form of numerical form, because we understand in numerical values. So this will be the digital display. In this digital display, we will see the temperature. Okay, for if we heat this heating element for 10 seconds, okay, we will get 30 degrees temperature here. Right. I want 60 degrees temperature. Then now I'll set here 15 seconds. The time is 15 seconds manually, so that here the temperature will be more when compared with the previous case. Now it is 15 seconds and the temperature will increase. The sensor senses and the analog signal will be converted into digital converter with the help of this converter, and the interface will be used to display the numerical temperature value. Now the temperature will be around 60 degree. So this is how we can check the temperature, or we can control the temperature in the open loop. You can see previously we have given 10 seconds manually. Later, we have given 15 seconds, which is also manually. The same example, if we construct in the closed loop. Now let's see. See, initially, we will give some input to this relay signal by means of AC in order to generate the heat here. So the heat will be produced and the temperature sensor will sense the temperature, and the analog form is converted into digital form with the help of A to D converter. And this interface unit is convert that digital values into the numerical values, which will be displayed here. See, this is a controller and a digital display will also be attached here. Okay, so initially the temperature is 30 degrees. Now this controller feeds that value and it will given back to the main system. This controller, what this controller will do is, here we need 60 degrees temperature, that will be given as reference input here, 60 degrees. But what is the display value? 30 degrees. We got only 30 degrees, but we need 60 degrees. So this reference input can be given from our side. So this controller compares actual value and the reference input and produces the difference between these two, which is error signal. And that error signal is given to this digital to analog converter. Why? Because all this operation is happening in analog mode, but here the values are digital values. So again, we need to convert digital to analog. That's why D2A converter is used here to convert this error signal in digital form to analog form. Now this amplifier is used here in order to amplify this analog signal if necessary. And that is given to the relay control unit. So this relay control unit input will be modified according to this error. If this error is high, then the time, set time in this relay control unit will be high. If this error is low, then the set time in the relay control unit will be low. So based on the error, the relay control unit time will be automatically modified based on this feedback loop. Now, after some time, it will check the temperature. It will operate for a more time because the difference is more. So the error signal is more. So the relay will operate for the more time, and hence here we will get the rise temperature, which is 45 degree. Now for the next moment we got 45 degree, but still we have some difference because we need 60. Now we are getting 45. Still error will be produced and given feedback to this relay, and this relay will increase its time again in order to achieve 60 degrees. So this is a continuous process which can be done automatically without any manual operation of any human being. It will do automatically. But here in the open loop system, we need to enter the time. We need to check here, okay, this is 30 degree, but we need to get 60 degree. Then we can increase the time. Now we will erase the previous time value. We will give a new time value manually for this relay here in the open loop. But in the closed loop, just we will give a reference input. That's it. That is our work. After that, automatically it will calculate, it will operate each and every moment. Automatically it will set. So this is how the temperature control system can be developed in the open loop as well as in the closed loop. So this is the difference between the operation. Okay, and we can also see a second example, which is a traffic control system. Previously, I have told you the traffic control system in the open loop. Okay, so let us take LB Nagar. LB Nagar will have a traffic signal. So if we are doing open loop traffic signal means In the system itself, we will feed the red light will be for 120 seconds. The green light will be on for 30 seconds. Like that, we will feed manually. In the junction, we have 4 or 5 ways, generally 4 ways, 4 different directions. Vehicles are coming from 4 different directions. Okay. In one of the direction, the vehicles are very, very low. Still then, they need to wait for 120 seconds, and still then they need to, the green light will be 30 seconds. If the vehicles are only two, because the traffic is very, very low in one direction, is 30 seconds is required, just 5 seconds or 10 seconds is required, because the vehicles are very low in one direction. In the same case, if you consider in other way, in other direction, vehicles are very, very high, means the traffic density is very high. Is 30 seconds sufficient to go or to clear the traffic? No. So this is the advantage with the open loop system. So open loop system is feeded manually. But what about the closed loop system traffic control? See, for the closed loop system, we will have a element connected in the feedback. That element analyzes or calculates the traffic density in each and every junction or each and every road. We have 4 ways or 4 directions, right? In all 4 directions, this feedback element calculates the traffic density. In one direction, only 2 vehicles are there. So the traffic density is very, very less. Then the green signal will be given for 5 seconds. That's it. After 5 seconds, again, red signal will come. So those two vehicles can be gone in 2 seconds or 5 seconds. In the same way, heavy density can have a high green light. So this is how the open loop and closed loop control systems can be worked in the traffic control.